If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the WoW in transmogs. Definitely showing Shadow some love with this purple and gray set. Rhyme, Rift, shoulders, boulders, shoulder pads. Aren't they all the same? Siege of Orgrimmar, Amalgam or Gam of Corruption to get those shoulders. The chest, Raven Court formal robes. Now there's also a regular chest piece and legs that you could farm out of Legion dungeons. It looks also incredible with this particular set, but I went with the robe here. The belt, Tyrannical Gladiator's Court of Accuracy, one of my favorites in the game. One mark of honor to pick that up. If you're Horde, you're gonna have to find something else because it's a reddish color rather than a blue. The feet are the boots of the Incorrupt. Karazhan, BC version, Shade of Aaron is the boss, 17% on the drop rate. Always fun to do Karazhan. Plenty of pets you can get and sell. The hands, as you can see, out of Iron Docks and Gorgrond. Various mobs, or you could buy it on the auction house to get those kind of purplish gray hands. Next up, we're going to go with the back, which is the navy blue boat cloak out of Borealis, Proudmoore Admiralty Embassy, 1,200 gold to pick that up. So if you're Horde, you're going to have to find a substitute. And speaking of the Horde, we got a Magthar Orc showing Hermit's Hood, Spires of Iraq, Hermit Pelfer, which is a 100% drop rate. And the offhand is out of Frostfire Ridge. It's a rare, 38% drop on the offhand. And the weapon is Hellfire Citadel, Siege Master Martak. Yep, this works for priests, I think. Disc, Holy, either way. Hydraxian Mantle, which is basically a recolor from a Cata tier preset. You get it out of Isle Expeditions, or you could just buy it on the auction house. And you're going to find that to be very similar. The head, the shoulders, and the hands, maybe even the boots, they're all from Isle Expeditions. You're going to have to buy them on the auction house or get lucky with them. Now that looks really cool on a lady human. The Girdle of the Infected Mind, Highmaul Bracken Spore is the boss, 14% on the drop rate. And next up, we're going to show you the feet, which are the Volatile Walkers out of Uldir. Talak is the boss. I like those feet because they're kind of a light greenish gray, and it works really well with this set. So it's worth that effort to farm it. Got an undead dude showing the hands, part of the same tier set as the shoulders, as I said. Maybe you get lucky, get it from Isle Expeditions, or you could always buy it on the auction house. Next up, we're going to take a look at the back, which is out of Waycrest Manor, Heroic. You could see the boss very easily. The gluttonous dude drops him, and we got about a 10% drop rate for the cloak. Got a Zandalari Lady Troll with a headpiece, Hydraxian cover, part of the same tier set as the shoulders and the hands. And the last piece is a staff, which you could pull out of Uldir. Fetid Devourer is the boss, 5% on the drop rate for the Regurgitated Purifier's Flame Staff. Very much Holy Priest set or disc set here. As you can see, the shoulders, part of a tier set from Mist of Pandaria, Tears of the Veil from Siege of Orgrimmar, 18% on the drop rate for the shoulders. Next up, the chest, which you really can't see behind the tabard. Buccaneer's Vest, Duskwood, Varus Mobs, or buy it on the auction house. Probably your best bet just to buy it. Now we're going to move on to the belt, which is also part of the same set as the shoulders, which you get out of Siege of Orgrimmar. As you can see, the boss, 14% on the drop rate for the Sash of the Last Guardian, Guardians of the Galaxy. The legs, Master War Mage's Leggings, the Nighthold Mythic version, Spellblade Alorial, 18% on the drop rate. Now, I think these boots look epic with this set. The Jangle Spur boots, Dragon Soul, that's a regular version. War Master Blackthorn, I believe he's the 4th or 5th boss, 8% on the drop rate. Doing a spin, here's the hands, then we'll get to the cloak. Burning Throne, mythic version for the hands. The cloak is an easy pickup from Stormwind Orgrimmar, Justice Quartermaster, 255 gold. And the tabard, or should I say the head first, is going to be a vanilla level tailoring piece. Check your local auction house or your local tailor. Now the tabard can be mogged any time of the year, which is kind of unique for the Midsummer event. It's a quest reward. It's easy to pick up. I have this mogged on my druid on a set. Got a bit of a red priestess look going here for the shoulders. Fisher split shoulder wraps, shoulder guards, shoulder pads. Aren't they just all the same? Throne of Thunder, Genrock the Breaker, 6% drop rate. Now we're going to vanilla to get the chest, Imperial Red Tunic, Black Rock Spire if you want to farm it or buy it on the auction house. I always like that Imperial Red Tunic set. And now we have a Dude Wergen showing the belt. Warmongering, Gladiator's Court of Cruelty. If you hoard, it'll be wild, 1 mark of honor, so very easy to pick up that belt. Next up, we're going to go with the legs, which are out of Tomb of Sargeras. Goroth is the boss, 10% on the drop rate for the leg wraps of Fused Loathing. Interesting name. Magthar Orc showing the feet, which are out of Throne of Thunder. Silent Flame Sandals. Kind of a fair drop rate to pick those various mobs in Throne of Thunder. Doing a spin, showing the cape. But before we get to the cape, we're going to show you the hands, which are Northern Barons. The Burning Blade Bruiser is rare. You could farm it from or buy it on the auction house to get those red hands. Okay, we got to show Panda some love. The back, Gilded Seraph's Drape. This is a priest-only cape. Burning Throne Heroic, keep that in mind. And the head is out of Hellfire Citadel Heroic. Cormrock is the boss. Next up is the weapon, which you could get from the WoD PvP vendor. Warmongering if you're Alliance. I think this works for Disc or Holy, honestly. Shadow Pads of Dao Dao Chung, which is Siege of Orgrimmar. Sun Tenderheart, 14% on the drop rate to pick up the shoulders. Next up, we're going to spin you to vanilla to get this particular chest piece out of Winterspring, various mobs, or you can buy it on the auction house. So the chest and the legs are just regular drop sets from vanilla. Next up, the belt is out of Siege of Orgrimmar. Malkorok is the boss. Sounds like a Star Trek Klingon, doesn't it? 15% on the drop rate for the belt. And as I said earlier, the legs are also much like the chest, part of the same set. This could be farmed out of Winterspring, or you could buy it on the auction house. And we're going to take a look at a Lady Priest and the feet, which are part of the same set as the legs and the chest. And you got it, same place, Winterspring, if you want to farm it or buy it on the auction house. The hand, Siege of Orgrimmar, part of the same tier set as the shoulders. The back is Netherstorm, the BC PvP vendor, 1 mark of honor to get the Cloak of Certain Reprieve. Got a Dude Undead showing the headpiece, which is out of Cata level engineering. Check your local engineer or auction house. The offhand piece is out of Throne of Thunder Heroic, Iron Quan, and the weapon, which I think looks really, really sweet here, is out of Ulduar Yogg Saron, 16% on the drop rate for Soul Scribe. I know what you're thinking and what you're not thinking. You're not thinking this is a mage set, and you are thinking this is a warlock set, but I do believe this works for Shadow Priest very, very well. I would love to have this on my Shadow Priest. The shoulders are good drop rate. Gonna have to grind it out to get it though. The robe is a quest reward out of Uldum, which is from Cata, of course, so that's easy to pick up. We have a Dude Human showing the belt, which is also Mythic Tomb of Sargeras. Maiden of Vigilance, 5% on the drop rate. Next up, we're going to show you the offhand piece, which is Warmongering Combatants Endgame. If you hoard, it will be wild, and it's from the WoD PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor to pick that up. The Green Lantern. Speaking of Green Lantern, don't you wish they made another new Green Lantern movie? And these feet you could get from a quest reward. There's also something you could get as a quest reward on the Horde side, but I'm not sure of the name. The Meatmonger's Gory Grips are from Heimel. The Butcher, 14% on the drop rate for those. Next up, we're going to take a peek at the cloak, which is very easy to pick up. Parrot Feather Cloak, Freehold, Sky Captain Crag, 11% on the drop rate. And the headpiece, as you can see, Nagrand BC version, quest reward. Now the weapon is listed as rogue only, but I do believe Clothies can pick it up now and mog it. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.